Since the dawn of time, first there was man, then there was potato. And together they would go on to achieve great things together. Travel to new frontiers. Visit relatives. Watch satellite communications.
Good being a couch potato sometimes, isn't it?
Stay tuned and I'll show you a much tastier use for the humble spud.
You put the oil in the fry pan to make yourself a tasty treat. You get your ideas from the Jase man to make your meal complete. And then you cook, and you're cooking with Jase.
Hey foodinistas, well there are no lawsuits or complaints after the entree, so I'm back again, this time with the main course. Today I'm going to make you gnocchi a la Jase. For the sauce component we're going to need some extra virgin olive oil, some organic tinned tomatoes, the ones from Italy are great, a bit of black pepper, anchovies, one anchovy. Now this is the divide between many people. They either seem to love or hate them. I really like them myself, whether it's on a pizza or I'll show you how to incorporate them into a sauce in a moment. And a couple of chili flakes, which turns it kind of into a puttanesca, I think, is actually the type of Italian pasta sauce. But it just gives it a bit of a kick as well. In the actual sauce too we'll have some chopped onion. Now you learnt my chopping technique from the last video, so follow that again. We've got some chopped zucchini, some diced garlic and some basil leaves. And for the gnocchi itself we'll have some plain flour. You can use the 00 Italian grade flour if you wish, which the traditional Italians will use, as they say, but any plain flour will be suitable. I've got some organic flour there. Some mashed potato. We really want to boil the potato well, possibly for 10 plus minutes. You might only usually cook it for about 5 minutes, but make sure it is well cooked and then mash it. People use a potato ricer. They're called ricers. It's a utensil and you can put the potato in and then you sort of shred it, it just goes through like that. You really want it well mashed, whatever you use. I haven't got a ricer, so I just use a normal masher. And we've got 2 eggs, and that completes the gnocchi side of things. Let's get started. I've given my onion a head start by about 5 minutes, just because that takes a bit longer. Now I'm going to add the chopped zucchini. That onion's sautéing in the olive oil. Add a bit more olive oil along during the process if things dry up a bit. We'll add the zucchini and we'll add the chopped garlic as well. Allow that, incorporate that through. And allow that to saute for another 5 to 10 minutes. To the next stage. Now that our zucchini has cooked down, zucchini mixture, I will have 1 anchovy. You can even add a bit of these are anchovies in olive oil, you can even add a bit of the oil there because that's got a nice flavour. Allow that anchovy to melt. It will melt and add the flavour right throughout the sauce, which is really nice kick it gives into any pasta sauce that you're making. I'll incorporate that through the onion zucchini mixture. Now that that's melted through, we'll add our diced tomatoes. See those tomatoes, one of the recipe ingredients I forgot to say, we'll add probably about a tablespoon of sugar just to take any bitterness off them, and we'll also a couple of chili flakes, once again totally optional, like the anchovies, and I'll finish off with a bit of black pepper. Sprinkle of the sugar. And a bit of black pepper to taste. To finish things off. Allow those tomatoes and that sauce to reduce a bit further, bring it to a slight boil, and then simmer for approximately 10 to 15 minutes, and that should do. We've got our sauce ready for our gnocchi. It's now been simmering away for 5 or 10 minutes. As the final garnish, we'll add our chopped fresh basil into the sauce, and we're good to go. We can turn off the sauce, allow it to cool while we prepare our gnocchi. Now to make the gnocchi with a floured board or bench, let's add our mashed potato.
For more flavourful gnocchi, add some good quality sea salt to the mashed potato.
And to that, the measurements of the quantities here very much depend on how many you're making for. I probably used about 5 or 6 potatoes, small potatoes here, but just adjust the recipe according to how many you're cooking for. To that, I'll add a bit of plain flour. Just slowly incorporate this as you go along, and massage through the mixture a little bit. We'll crack in our eggs. Now people, I think the traditional Italian way is just to use the yolk of the egg. If you're doing so, you can actually have the white, crack it into your fingers and have the white when run out into a bowl. But waste not, want not. I think it's a good idea. You can actually use the whole egg, so I'm actually going to use the whole of it. So we've got 2 eggs. Now, a bit messy initially, but trust me, it'll actually work and all come together. Now that's come together into a dough, we'll just roll it out into a rectangular shape and divide that in half. And once again, take one of those cylinders and roll it out. Now we just want to cut that into bite-sized manageable pieces of gnocchi. A little bit more flour. Now they're good to go like that. There are actually these little gnocchi boards you can actually buy, which give you the lines, the marking in them, which is a professional touch. The purpose of that is to actually have the sauce stick to the gnocchi for it to actually hold it when it's part of it. But you can do the same thing by just rolling the gnocchi off a fork, and then you get a bit of a line into it. Probably a bigger fork's a good idea, but you get the idea. And so on until all your batch are made up. Now to some rapidly boiling water. You can add a bit of salt into that, but honestly it makes no difference with pasta, I don't think. We've got enough saltiness in the sauce anyway. We'll drop our pieces of gnocchi into the water. The saltiness in the sauce comes from the anchovies that were added. Feel free to add 2 if you want that bit of extra kick. Try not to burn our hands and fingers in the process while it's dropping in. Probably a spoon is not a bad idea too. Drop them in. Okay, now that that's all in, you can give it a slight stir with a fork just to make sure everything's separated. And we'll allow that to return to the boil. And how we know that the gnocchi is ready is when the gnocchi starts floating to the top. But all in all, the whole process should take about 5 to 10 minutes, say about 5 minutes for it to return to the boil, and then from that point just another 2 or so minutes after that till we have our gnocchi ready. Now I've reheated my sauce just to bring it back ready to add the gnocchi. Our gnocchi is cooked and is floated to the top, as you can see. We'll then now add that into the sauce. Don't worry if a little bit of the pasta water goes in with the sauce. That's actually an Italian trick, is that you always incorporate a fraction of that just to add a bit of moisture through the sauce. Some of these are like gnocchi on steroids, but it's all good. Just more to bite. Okay, now we've got our sauce. We'll just stir that through so it's well combined. I think we're just about ready to plate up. And there we have it, gnocchi a la Jase. To finish off, we've got a bit of grated pecorino. You can use parmesan, whatever you wish. So I'll put that over the top. And garnish with a little bit of basil. Just make it look a bit arty. Now for the all-important taste test. Bellissimo! Better than a mama used to make! Until next time, as I always say, keep it hot and tasty, you hear?
You put the oil in the fry pan to make yourself a tasty treat. You get your ideas from the Jase man to make your meal complete.